This was our opening game against the Northwest Diamond Dogs. This was our Mother's Day opening game, and I was pitching. It was an 8 a.m. game, so I was a little tired, but first pitch here, I chose to do a slider, and we ended up getting a ground out, so 1 pitch, 1 out, and I was very happy with that. I want to go slider just to see if the top of the lineup would hit it, and we got a ground out. And we will have 2 views today, so that will be nice. And then this kid's walk up, yeah, it was a little weird, just to say the least. Anyways, we gave him a fastball, so we somehow got that call. I don't know how we got that call. That was lucky on us. Threw him a little slider. He swung and missed at that one. And then, yeah, a little fastball up, and we got the Screaming Girl walk-up song kid out. I don't know his name, so that's what we're going to call him. This is a 3-hitter, so I was a little scared, to be honest. So we went slider and missed very badly. So I decided maybe we could go fastball, but I ended up going slider. I wanted fastball, they called slider. And then this happened. Ended up being a foul ball, but that shook me up a little bit because it was pretty scary. So, and then it was kind of close, it felt like, but looking back, that was definitely a ball. And then slider, and I had to keep fouled out. So I was like, I don't know what I want to throw him here, but I gave him a slider because I knew that he would just swing and miss, and he ended up taking it for strike out number 2. So we're back to our second inning. We got to do our handshake with our great third baseman. Love that guy. And this is their 4-hitter. We ended up going 1, 2, 3. So I was very happy with the efficiency. 10 pitches for the entire inning. So that was very nice. So usually I start off the inning with a slider, which I did here. And it was a little bit up, and it was quicker than usual. It didn't really break how I like it to. So that wasn't ideal. And then we tried to throw another one, and it was also up. So I hate being down 2-0. It just is what it is. And then I spiked the fastball. So now it's 3-0. And we get a miracle here. Absolute miracle. Pops it straight up. I don't know why he didn't take it, because that would have been a walk. And then our shortstop makes a great play. Yeah. It was a little bit windy, so it was moving around, but yeah. Great play by him. And this kid came up. I was vibing with that walk-up song. It was so tough. So we gave him a slider, and we didn't get the call there. It was a little bit up, but it could have gone either way. So that's that. And then we gave him another slider, and that missed inside. So we're down 2-0 again. And then I gave him a fastball that I yanked, and that was outside. So now I'm down 3-0. And then he gives me a foul ball, and I still don't know why they're swinging 3-0. So it's 3-1, and then he just... yeah, it's a good piece of hitting right there, and hits it up the middle. And turned into a double. Our center fielder bobbled it. It took a bad hop, though, so I'm not really mad about that. The grass out there was very bumpy, so it was kind of weird. But luckily, it didn't turn into any major damage. We're on our second, no big deal. So now we're throwing a slider for a strike. And then he was bouncing around over there at second, so I didn't know if he's going to steal or not. But he kept bouncing around throughout the entire at-bat. He didn't even go back to second in between pitches. So he steals here, and we get a foul ball. Thank goodness. I was so happy about that foul ball. So now I know he's going. I mean, he's bouncing around. We're in a 1-2 count. There's only one out, so I know he's going. So I'm like, you know what? What if I just don't give him a look and then just, like, do a little step through? Because I know he's going. So we did a little, and then we got him out on a little rundown. Our third baseman absolutely hunts him down. He's got wheels, so he's our fastest kid, so that was very nice. Yeah, he went the second my leg went up, and I kind of guessed he was going to do that. And this turned into, like, the weirdest inning I think I've ever seen. The way we got outs is just is so weird. So I give him a slider that he fouls out and fouls off. So we go back to that pitch, and it did not move at all. So it, to be honest, it looks like a fastball. And I give him another slider, which he just blooped into right field into no man's land. Nobody could get to it. So just, yeah, lucky hit, I guess. And then, yeah, this turned into a very weird out here. So pick off just to show him a move. That wasn't my best move. I usually like giving them my not best move and then giving my best move later. So then he steals. So it's a hit and run. And then there's a little bit of a bobble out there in center. We go to cut 4, and we didn't cut 4, I guess. And then he overthrows it, and we get the out at home. That was 3 outs. So it was such a weird way to get out of the inning. But an out is an out. So, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I thought we were cutting 4. We ended up not cutting 4. We overthrew second base. And then third baseman just gobbled it up really quick and made a great throw to home. And we got the tag. So how about that? And then this was my bonus at bat. Yeah. I'm not that much of a hitter either. So 1-1. Little 1-2. He was throwing pretty good this day, but it's not an excuse. And then, yeah, we struck out looking. Yeah. So back to pitching. It's gonna be the third inning, and we'll get a nice little pop up. Shortstop's can of corn, and then we're on to our lefty. And I was settled in at this point. We haven't even gotten back to the top. I was very comfortable with my pitch count. They were limiting me to 40 this day because this was a Saturday, so they wanted me to pitch for Sunday. So they were trying to keep me under 40 pitches. So I was very comfortable with where I was. I was getting very efficient innings. And then a little slider right here that he fouls off. So overall, it's very comfortable. And then he just makes a great play over there at second base. Our second baseman makes an absolutely stellar play. I was very impressed. And then that was the pop-up from earlier, that second camera angle, and then our second baseman's absolutely beautiful play. You gotta love it. So, I mean, he's a defensive powerhouse over there at second. So I give this kid a little two-seam, and he fouls it off. And I will only throw my two-seam. I don't throw a four-seam, just because my two-seam is the same velocity, but it moves. So there's no reason to throw my four-seam. And then we strike him out with a fastball up and in. Very happy with where I placed that. So good pitch calling so far by our team. Into the fourth inning now, and we're still not to the top. This is still their bottom of the lineup. I felt like their lineup was a little bit longer than just 12, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. And then I was just able to get a ground out back to me just for the out. Super happy with that. I was closing in on my pitch count, so I only went 2 batters. But there was a little mistake. We ended up going 42 pitches because something happened with Game Changer where like we kind of messed up the pitch count a little bit, and we ended up over the count, 40 pitch count by 2 pitches. So I wasn't eligible for Sunday, but overall, it was a great outing. I mean, this was their last hitter. This was their like, 12th or 13th hitter. I don't know. So we missed a slider outside, and then just, yeah, we strike him out here with a little slider. It was so early on that. And then, yeah, that was the end of our outing. I was very happy with how that outing went. I think I could have gone the entire game if I just didn't have a pitch count limit. So I was very happy with how that turned out. And overall, it's just one of my better outings I've done. Everything was working. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, and no hit by pitches.